They say a first impression means everything. Well, if that's the case, no wonder why the NFL is shook right now at Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the first day of practice has come to an end, and I couldn't be more happy with what we saw. To have Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith have the impact, make the first impression on the NFL, on their teammates that they did, we couldn't ask for more. We could be looking at the two steals of this entire draft on one team. It's amazing. Now, before we get into all of it, if you're new to the channel, you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. If you've been subscribed for a while, thank you so much for the support you give to me. It means a lot. Just a reminder, I will be live again tomorrow afternoon. Thank you to everybody who was in my live stream earlier today. It was a lot of fun. We'll be doing it again tomorrow, and we'll be doing it on Friday, as well as all next week, except for, I believe, Wednesday the 2nd. I think Wednesday is the 2nd, but whatever August 2nd is, I won't be able to do it that day. But we got a lot of streams coming, a lot of football games. It's going to be a blast. So thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe, and we good to go. Now, really, I think not just the talk of today's Eagles practice, but it's becoming the talk of the league. The league is talking about two guys, Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. Those guys impressed so many people today, not just the beat writers and the media watching, but their teammates were impressed. The NFL is hearing about it. We've got Dallas Cowboy trolls trying to put down the flames of what Nolan Smith did today, especially Cowboy fans, because you got to remember, when they drafted, they were all celebrating when Mazi Smith got picked, but they didn't think they were getting Mazi Smith. They thought they were getting Nolan Smith. They literally thought they drafted Nolan Smith, and they failed. And look, it just looks like Nolan Smith is going to be a monster in this league. He's going to be a beast. And the Eagles might have the two biggest steals of the draft, right? NFL Rookie Watch posted this. Nolan Smith reportedly, quote, shocked his teammates with his performance at training camp today. In one of his first reps, Smith put Brady Russell, the Eagles tight end, on the ground and would have had a sack in an actual game. Smith got another pressure moments later, forcing a red zone interception. That was the one that Christian Ellis got. And finally, Smith got a third pressure, causing Marcus Mariota to fumble. Smith's speed off the edge has reportedly been fascinating from the start. The Eagles found a steal in the first round. And there are just article after article after article after article talking about Nolan Smith and how impressive he was. To think this guy fell to 30 and we got him is unbelievable. It looks like the Eagles are going to have to find a way to use this guy, have to find a way to get this guy on the field, especially with Hassan Reddick. I mean, geez, the speed that the Eagles are going to have to defend. This defense, I'm telling you, it may take a while. It may take early in the year to get going. I think it's fair. I think that's fair. It's going to take a while, but once they get going, forget about it. This defense is going to be nasty. It's going to be awesome. So Nolan Smith, he just shocked everybody, shocked his teammates. I was shocked reading about what he's doing on the field and his speed off the edge. Truly, he is going to be one of the most fascinating guys to watch. I may have to get myself a Kelly Green Nolan Smith jersey. I may just have to do it, because I have a feeling that in a few years, as Micah Parsons is doing everything he can, because Micah Parsons, the future Eagle, wants to be on the Eagles. And as soon as his contract is up, as soon as he gets out there, he's going to try to go to the Eagles. But Nolan Smith is so good, I don't think the Eagles are going to want him. They're not going to want him. He's going to have to go somewhere else. Listen, Nolan Smith is going to be a stud. We should be very, very excited about it. It's so funny. The Cowboy fans are so jealous they're so jealous of this. It's great. They hate with a passion that our guys are actually getting some praise. And listen, Nolan Smith had a great day, and he was the MVP of the day. But Jalen Carter, he had a great day too. Here's what they said about Jalen Carter. Pound Eagles, Jalen Carter, and it's not hashtag, it's pound, okay? People ask, why you always say pound? I'm old. It used to be pound. When you used to call beeper and you put in your code, you'd be pound whatever the code was. Mine was pound 82. Pause. So I just can't say hashtag. All right, but Pound Eagles, Jalen Carter is shredding the Eagles' prolific first-team offensive line in training camp. That is a huge statement because the Eagles' offensive line is one of the best offensive lines we have seen in the NFL in years. Okay? So Jalen Carter is shredding the Eagles' prolific first-team offensive line training camp. Quote, he regularly beats world-class vets, and it's hard not to think we didn't get the best player in the draft. All right, and this comes from the Eagles. My gosh. Jalen Carter is shredding them. Nolan Smith is shredding them. We have a lot of reasons to be excited. We really do. And it's going to be really interesting to see how soon or how quick he can get into a starting role. I think if you could get him as a starter, have, Jordan Davis as your nose tackle and have those guys in there, and then, you get Fletcher Cox more rest, let him pause. But you get Fletcher Cox and you get him and let him rest and rotate in and get his reps down to save him since he's a little older. I think that would be an absolutely great thing. The other thing about Jalen Carter I really like is he understands that we don't like the Cowboys. We don't like the Cowboys. We hate the Cowboys. And he gets it, right? He said, quote, I am ready to kill the Cowboys. Eagles Jalen Carter exclusive. Here's what it said. Where the hell did I put it? Oh, hold on. So this is what it said, right? This past weekend, as the NFL offseason wrapped up, Eagles rookie defensive tackle hosted a youth football camp and provided an exclusive interview with EaglesToday.com at SI. The usually soft-spoken player issued a statement to Dallas. I'm ready to kill the Cowboys, Carter said. Everybody's got a beef. I might as well join the wave. And that's exactly what he's doing. So Jalen Carter is letting the Cowboys know, you're done. You're done. Man, I love this kid. I gotta love this kid. Jalen Carter has got the right attitude, and I think he's fitting right in. I think these guys are all great athletes, great players, but they all seem to have really good personalities. This is a very, very likable team. Now, speaking of good personalities, Jalen Hurts. What a great personality. What a great leader for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, I thought he said something very interesting, but it just shows his focus. It shows where he's at, and it shows what he's about, right? He was asked today if he had watched the show on Netflix, The Quarterback, and he said no, he hadn't. I haven't watched it either yet. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I do plan on watching it. But this is what he said I thought was really interesting, right? Hurts confirmed that he hasn't watched the, quote, Quarterback yet, but when asked to be a cast member a year ago, he felt the show wouldn't be a good match for him. Quote, I actually turned it down last year. I didn't feel it was appropriate for the year, so I turned it down the opportunity to be on it, Hurts said. Nevertheless, Hurts believes someday he will participate in project that narrates his story, but he acknowledges that there's still a lot of time until that happens. You have to love a guy like this. Okay, you do, because what he's saying and what it shows is that he is prioritizing one thing, being the best that he can be and winning. All the other crap is a distraction. All of it is not worth it. As you go out and you win and you're successful, the time and the opportunities to come and really have these stories talked about and played out will happen. And there's a time for it, and there's a time not for it. And I think that some of these guys get distracted with these kind of things, caught up in these kind of things. And I think Jalen Hurts is showing great focus and where his priorities lie. This is a great sign that the Eagles have the right guy for a long time. And that's how I feel. This is what Hurts does. He does this all the time. He says the right things. He does the right things. And I just couldn't be more proud to have a quarterback repping the Eagles as this guy. You think Dak Prescott would have turned that down? Hell no. He would have took it so fast with his little mattress commercials, putting the mattress up and down for his neck. Come on. Jalen Hurts, total stud. Now, one thing I do want to close this video on is the fact that we were talking about Nolan Smith some more and Jalen Carter because they had such an epic introduction to being Eagles. This defensive line is very good. And this defensive line has the potential to I think, put up at least 70 sacks again. I really believe that they have that kind of talent. And with Josh Sweat, and with Brandon Graham, and with Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Hassan Red, with all these guys that can get to the quarterback, you really got to wonder what's going to happen to Derek Barnett. Derek Barnett still limited practice coming off torn ACL. I wish him nothing but getting better. But, you got to wonder, will he make this team? Will he even make this team? Will he be part of this rotation? I thought what Bo Wolf wrote about, actually, on The Athletic was kind of an interesting take. I wanted to share it with you. Bo Wolf of The Athletic paints a stark picture of Tennessee's product relationship with the team moving forward. Quote, the contract he signed last offseason makes it difficult to release him outright. If he shows up to camp healthy, the more the merrier for the pass rush. But it feels more likely that he's played his last game for the team that drafted him. A first-round draft pedigree tends to carry weight even when a player doesn't live up to it. As Wolf noted, releasing him would be tough as the team would have to eat $7.2 million in dead cap charge next season. Don't really want to do that. The best case scenario might be finding a trade partner who would at least give them a pick and agree to take some of the financial obligation for Barnett's contract. I think that is likely what's going to happen. I really think Derek Barnett's going to get traded during preseason. I think the Eagles are probably going to make a few trades. Bring some guys in, take some guys out. But I think that Derek Barnett getting traded is probably the most likely scenario, and it's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. So something to keep in mind. We got to see and hope that he starts practicing, that he's healthy. Because I think if he goes out, let's say he has a decent preseason, something like that, it could give the Eagles options. And if they do trade him, I say jump all over signing Yannick Ngakoue. Don't waste time. Go out and get him. He's the perfect guy to bring in. We got a lot of players, a lot of guys that can play, and the Eagles are really sitting in a good situation. The first day of training camp with Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter making a great first impression as Eagles couldn't be any more epic and memorable. I'm going to remember this day for years to come. Those guys' first practice and the impact that they made. No doubt about it. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. So as you guys know, we got running back by committee. It looked like Rashad Penny got the very first carry with the first team offense. Does that mean anything? Nah, I don't think so. But it was really interesting because one of the things that people said was that the Eagles were really using the running backs in the passing game a lot more. I think this is going to be the big upgrade to the offense. And I think it's a whole nother dimension, a whole nother element to give your offense. They said DeAndre Swift was catching some balls out backfield. He did bobble one, but they said you could tell he's a natural catcher. Much easier, much more smooth than Miles Sanders. This is going to be a big key to our offense, I think. I don't think that if you're throwing to the running backs out of the backfield, when you have that with Hurts' ability to run, with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, I don't know how you can stop it all. Somebody will always be open. Something will always be open, whether it's to run the ball, throw to the running backs, throw to your receivers or your tight end. The Eagles' offense is going to be nasty this year. Denzel Washington out.